high school at one time.
Tyrus.
What I saw.
Yeah.
What it looked to me like he was negotiating with a deaf prostitute.
Governor Gavin Newsom is now calling his city's homeless encampments unacceptable, which is odd since he's the guy who, made them acceptable, turning sidewalks into red carpet events for drug addicts, thieves, and unemployed CNN anchors.
Something unbelievable just detonated live on air, and nobody saw it coming. Joe Rogan blinked twice. Greg Gutfeld nearly spat out his drink. And Tim Walz. He's probably still buffering. This wasn't a debate. It was a demolition derby in HD. One sentence from Walz. And both Rogan and Gutfeld reacted like they'd just witnessed a political car crash. The internet's on fire, memes are spreading, and the governor's PR team is probably hiding under a desk. What started as polite conversation just turned into a full-blown roast session.
We here on this table called this first. That to get any action done, you may have to get the politician to feel the pain of their own policies intimately, and he got it right in the gut. Because I predicted In-N-Out was going to be the catalyst because it's his family's favorite restaurant. And when In-N-Out closed, that was a direct shot at him because you could BS the public, but you can't BS your kids who are now wishing he had gotten recalled because they could have their burger. The intensity of pain that a public endures is based on the time that it takes the Democrats to start acting like Republicans.
So what happens when Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld go off about lockdowns, mandates, and political gaslighting? You get a governor running faster than his press office can lie. It starts slow. Rogan raises an eyebrow, Gutfeld leans in, and somewhere in Minnesota, Tim Walz's staff starts Googling how to disappear gracefully. This wasn't analysis. It was a two-man comedy horror show. And the star, a governor who turned leadership into an Olympic event in indecision.
Watch the tape.
Yes!
He literally goes, I want some of this, then you do some of this, and I'll do some of that back to you, and then we'll do this, and then I'll pay you, and then we'll do it again. And then she kept saying, no. Okay, how about this? You do this one first, then we do this one, then we give a little back and forth.
Let's talk about the man, the myth, the headline himself, Tim Walz. The high school teacher turned politician who promised data-driven decisions and delivered a spreadsheet on fire. 1 minute he's following the science. The next, he's freestyling policy like a jazz musician running on espresso and no sleep. The grin stayed the same, the plan didn't.
Cities to ban the camps from sidewalks, parks, and other public areas. So after years of denying the problem, he's now pretending to fix it, which is like putting on a condom as you're leaving a whorehouse. Who hasn't?
What's a condom?
But as always, when a far-left Dem runs for national office, he acts like a Republican. This is where the left is really pro-trans. Suddenly, they grow balls.
Before the chaos, he looked like your friendly Midwestern neighbor, the guy who waves too long while overwatering his lawn. Then COVID hit, and he tossed the rulebook into a blender. Gyms closed, churches locked, corner cafes gone. But protests, totally fine. Apparently, the virus takes a coffee break when politics show up.
You can't, it's not his words when he speaks.
Yeah.
You have to watch him closely. And some genius decided not to film him any lower than the shoulder.
Yes, did you? Yes.
So what did he do?
You couldn't see the hands.
No, but he sent Morse code.
Yes.
Go back and watch it. Look at the blinking. Blink, look. Meet me at the house. Like, he's blinking. He's sending. I'm getting there. Hey, just so you know, I'm not wearing pants.
This was a man who treated emergency powers like Thanos with a PowerPoint. Every time people asked when it would end, he snapped his fingers and produced another executive order. Masks on, masks off. Masks optional unless you're standing still, humming softly, and wearing Crocs. It wasn't guidance, it was riddles. That's when Joe Rogan stepped in, squinting like a guy who just opened a fridge full of bad leftovers. Playgrounds were taped off, but liquor stores were sacred ground. Watching Rogan break it down felt like watching a bear politely open a banana, then crush it to pulp.
Gavin ponders why Dems lost.
We lost. We lost the popular vote and we lost the electoral vote. We got crushed, and we need to be humble about that, and we need to have some grace.
Yes.
Is it because of Israel? Yes. Interest rates? Yes. Too woke? Yes. It's like every bad policy that trickled up to the White House during the Biden administration started in California. That state is responsible for the worst politicians in modern history. And he's at the top of the list, and there are some ignoramuses on that list.
And just when Walz thought it couldn't get worse, Greg Gutfeld joined the party, fueled by sarcasm and Red Bull. Where Rogan exposed the logic gaps, Gutfeld turned them into circus acts. His mockery was so sharp you could hear campaign staffers crying into their keyboards. He didn't see a leader in crisis. He saw a man trying to fight a fire with confetti. From banning indoor dining to approving outdoor igloos with windows, the whole policy looked like it was written by an intern consulting a magic 8-ball.
Eventually, the camera guy realizing that he's signaling him, so he gets appalled, leans back, camera comes down, and then we're back to this. I'll do this for you, you do this for me a little. So he's saying whatever he's going to say. There it is, see? They couldn't hold him back. He's like, I'm not on film. Oh, I'm not, nope. Bring my hands up, bring him up, bring him up, bring him up, bring him up. He's playing with us. Meet me at my house, you get mine, I get yours, it'll work.
Rogan couldn't let it slide. He called out how the working class took the hit. Barbers, mechanics, trainers, anyone who couldn't hide behind Zoom screens. Meanwhile, Walz's team stayed lit and comfy on their virtual calls. Remote learning, a digital disaster. Kids floundered while politicians' children cruised through private schools untouched. Gutfeld made it a sketch. Walz spinning a wheel of mandates every morning. Mask up, blame the feds, act calm, tweet science. It wasn't fiction. It was history, his own replaying on loop. And when riots tore through Minneapolis, Walz was still searching for his leadership password.
It's evil, then the Dems are now the party of disorder. Turns out the only system they had was wokeism, and it rotted any basic principles the party had to begin with. Which is why, like Gavin himself, they're left looking at 2028's hopes going up in flames. And this time, no one is going to help them put it out.
He spent more time looking for accountability than showing any. Rogan brought the stats, crime, damage, chaos, while Gutfeld brought the punchlines. Together, they turned a crisis into a roast you couldn't stop watching. Gutfeld called it government cosplay. Walz dressed like a leader but performed like a substitute teacher who lost the lesson plan and the students. And the punchline: Minnesota paid the price. When your policies become content for a podcaster and a Fox News comic, it's not leadership, it's self-parody.
Like someone had ripped out the teleprompter mid-sentence, frozen in shock and painfully unprepared for the reckoning unfolding before him.
Have gone tremendously to the right on this issue in 2024 and 2025 versus where they were in 2020. Closest to or trust more in immigration. You go back to 2020. Democrats, get this, held a 32-point lead on this issue. Immigrant voters were in the Democratic camp. Jump forward to 2024, 2025. Look at that shift, a 40-point shift to the right among immigrant voters. Republicans now lead on this issue by 8 points over Democrats.
It makes sense. If you waited your turn, why would you be happy about a bunch of jerks cutting the line? So why are the Dems and the media shocked by this? Well, because unlike the left, immigrants don't shout their beliefs every time there's a break in conversation. Hell, I rarely even flex my muscles unless it's a conversation about my muscles.
That's when Rogan officially entered the ring. No suit, no script, just raw frustration and a mic. While Walz was busy inventing new forms of hesitation, Rogan was tracking every contradiction in real time. He didn't whisper it, he shouted it. Mom-and-pop shops were fined, crushed, or buried under red tape while megacorporations glided through lockdowns like VIPs. This wasn't science, it was favoritism in a lab coat. Rogan didn't just expose it, he detonated it.
Do you think after this riot fest, he is still an option for 2028?
Yeah, he just has to keep, he thinks he's going to charm people over by just kind of agreeing with them. He'll start every sentence, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. They'll make a point. He has people on his podcast. They destroy his point of view. I appreciate that. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to have a look at that. I can't even believe, there's so many good things in that monologue, Greg. I love that clip of CNN. I can't believe they have that guy. It's like self-flagellation.
On his podcast, Gutfeld took a scalpel to the nonsense. Performative politics met blunt logic, and the audience couldn't stop replaying it. Walz's rules sounded like they were written by a committee of confused night owls. Dine indoors but not at the bar. Stay open until 10 p.m. sharp, when apparently the virus clocks in. Rogan mocked it like a Kafka skit on caffeine. It's safe, no wait, it's dangerous. Actually, it depends on Twitter. You didn't know whether to laugh or scream, so Rogan made sure you did both.
Cameras, shaking hands, and tweeting empty slogans, because nothing screams man of the people like rubbing elbows with the ultra-rich at an invite-only round table.
Pony. I'm totally weird. Gavin's hands. It's time for Gavin's hands.
He keeps his hands in motion and his hair full of lotion. True, Gavin's views may be idiotic, but his hands moves, well, they're hypnotic. California Governor Newsom's new podcast is out. It's available wherever fine hair care products are.
Just as Walz's approval ratings began their freefall, Gutfeld swooped in, smirk locked, flamethrower ready. If Rogan was the furious everyman, Gutfeld was the snarky uncle armed with graphs and truth. He didn't debate. He disassembled. Walz didn't even need a punchline. He was the punchline. Gutfeld mocked his obsession with emergency powers, like a guy fixated on PowerPoint fonts. It wasn't governance, it was dinner theater gone wrong. The crowd laughed. Walz's comms team cried.
Noisy in the city.
Yeah.
Charlie, is he talking with his hands, or is this some kind of distraction maneuver?
I think, okay, well, I'm Italian, and I talk with my hands. I'm doing it right now. They have lives of their own. And I have never seen someone, to the extent that Gavin Newsom just spoke with his hands, do anything like that. So, I mean, congratulations, I suppose. Diversion tactic, yes, maybe. Because you think, if people are so focused on his hands, they're not listening to what he's...
Then came the knockout. Walz wasn't leading. He was pretending. A blue state bureaucrat in a borrowed suit, jumping at every whisper from Fauci. There was no balance, only panic. Gutfeld delivered the final blow. He didn't lose one side. He lost both. Liberals think he's weak. Conservatives think he's lost. That's not leadership, that's free fall. The split screen said it all. Walz fumbling through talking points while Rogan stared like someone watching a toaster explain crypto. Makes sense, Gutfeld deadpanned. If you've been sniffing hand sanitizer.
So Newsom is fed up with tent cities, the crime, the urban decay? No, he's not mad about that stuff. He's mad you noticed. It's like a criminal telling a jury he's sorry he robbed 25 banks when he's just sorry he got caught on the 26th. Because this isn't some spontaneous crisis. It's a man-made disaster like Chernobyl or Fox and Friends. And
They like the show, okay?
and the man who made it acts like he had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It's pure government grift, shoving you down a flight of stairs and then making you pay for the handrail. We've been lied to for years that homelessness is all about affordable housing.
The destruction wasn't loud. It was surgical. Every contradiction exposed. Every absurd rule turned into a meme. And when the smoke cleared, Walz stood alone. Not defiant, just confused, wondering why nobody was clapping anymore. But this wasn't just about one governor. It was about a system built on pretense. What happens when leaders fake leadership and blame the fallout on the people who trusted them? Minnesota's economy collapsed. Small businesses vanished. Approval ratings sank. Even supporters whispered, "Wait, we voted for this?" Other governors admitted mistakes. Walz stayed in denial. Rogan drove the final nail. We're not saying don't lead. We're saying stop pretending you are. And with that, a podcast host and a late-night comedian ended a political career. not with outrage, but with laughter, truth, and a level of clarity no press briefing ever achieved.